Alright, hey everybody, it's AntagonistKim, and we're back with more Disco Elysium. So, we were able to get through, our check by, well, let's just say Harry went back to his old ways, and you might be slightly under the influence right now, but that did get us enough points to, clear the white check to talk to Titus again and his gang. We got the whole story, and it turns out, Klaasje and what we assume is the 8th Hardy gal, alright? She, is helping, or maybe something else is going on between her and Klaasje, so we have to confront her right now. We did get enough points from all this to do another level up, which we will use in Volition, and I believe that will clear one of Klaasje's marks as well. And then I don't know where the story's going to go after that. I know the last episode was kind of on the shorter side, but I think I'm just going to try to make these around 30-ish minutes if I can. Purely because I don't want to bore you guys with just like me walking around or anything else. If there's a potential check, I am going to save before I do it because I feel like I've just been spinning my wheels on a lot of past episodes. Because we didn't make the check, you know? I hate having to do that with this sort of game, but it's so incredibly difficult to get points towards upgrades and stuff like that when you're when you've exhausted all kinds of talks with people and everything like that. So that's just the way I'm gonna look at it. I know, I'm sorry I'll upset some of y'all, but that's just the way it is. I don't want this game to be boring. Ooh. This room has sat all over it. Reminds you of your own. Okay. I mean, that's cool, I guess. You feel someone watching you behind the glass door. A woman? Behind the glass door. I mean, there's no one else in there, right? It's just her. Oh, and also, we found out that one of the Hardy Boys, to kind of, like, do a story cover-up, it was Titus's brother helped clear this glass, because Titus's thought was there was a gunshot, right? Because I guess he was found dead here, so then the Hardy Boys helped her disguise it as a lynching instead. So the brother fixed the glass, so it looked like nothing was wrong. They helped her cleaned up, and, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay. Double check what hers was again. Volition. Okay. Where is it? Volition. Do the level up right there and save. And then we will save. We'll see how this goes here. Yep, so it unlocks her thing. That's fine. Alright. Klaasje. Klaasje.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing. She knows.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Alright, I'm gonna try this. This is the look in her eyes. I'm hoping it helps me get clear of the other things here. Come on.
Soft,
Sweet.
light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you.
What's that?
You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too. Me? What did I do? I'm merely a master thespian. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore.
Oh my god. What? I knew something was off. Wait, what?
Believe it.
Which one of you guys should I... wait, which ones exactly are affected? How did this happen? This doesn't mean she's been lying to me? That was her plan? I've been talking to myself long enough, let's get back to it. So does this mean she was just lying the whole time?
Yes. Mr. Thespian here has been singing paeans to how truthful she is.
Uh-oh.
She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, She probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies.
Okay, so some of what she's saying is true.
That is correct. And omissions too.
Can I trust rhetoric?
A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair.
All right, thanks, Volition.
But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust any of them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer hair.
Right, they're all seduced, is what you're telling me.
A light green speck and imperfection on the outer rim of her right iris. It sparkles.
Oh, well, we can go through all these. Maybe we'll get points each time. Which ones exactly are affected?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised.
All right, electrochemistry.
Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy.
Right, he's just in for the high.
Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory. Truth. Softness. Protect her.
Uh-oh.
She wants you.
Everyone, you guys are getting infatuated. Stop it.
I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
Oh, now we got suggestion popping in? How'd this even happen, guys? What's going on?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
What can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
Can't you just turn them to be normal again?
No,
What use is this then?
it's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
So, what is her plan? Can you guys at least tell me that?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious.
Okay. That's kind of what Titus was saying already. Okay.
See? It's oddly moderate. Probably compromised.
All right, well, I'm done talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Say it out loud. Miss, are you manipulating me? Don't say anything. Just close your eyes and let the moment pass. We won't let her know. Let's just keep our eyes closed.
For a second, her face disappears from your cornea. Only a silvery negative remains. Still smiling, a tired smile.
Oh, God. Okay. We gained 5 points from that. All right. Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug, on the table.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
Our options. You don't look surprised you were expecting this. You sent us on a runaround. You lied to us, miss. Chill on the cool cop, remember? You don't look surprised. I guess you were expecting this?
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Aw. Man, she's tricking us again.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
God, these guys are smitten right now.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Right, she looks at her feet.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
The Hardy Boys are not the law. We are. That's not good enough reason. Listen, they're just dudes down there. We're the law, though.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Any other reasons behind this, though?
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern? What's the RCM's involvement with the moral intern got to do with this? The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern. You don't have to worry about that. What's their involvement if you're so concerned?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lets cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oranese lit. Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
You said you studied Orkney's lit. What is it with this fugitive stuff? What did you do to have these people after you? What happened here? The night died. The night he died. Why did you call the police? You're hiding something. We'll be playful here. You said you studied Orkney's lit. What is it with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
Right, and what did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again.
Interesting, that is not what I was expecting at all.
With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps for his notebook.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Okay. Papa, that's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into. You're right, this is bad. You've destroyed what people have built. I'm sure there are people who have done a lot worse than that. I mean, there are. I thought she, like, embezzled something. Okay. She maybe knows, like, the other company that hired her knows that they're mucking up in their books, right? So she took it to kind of give them proof. But I'm sure people have done a lot worse than that, though.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
Okay, so what exactly happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
She points to the window, the silhouette of the bed visible. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass.
Okay.
I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me.
Okay. What happened next?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her side.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh,
She looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. Hey, listen, I'm sorry this happened to you. Are you sure you're not making this up? Shake your head, that's a motherfucker. Hey, I'm sorry this happened to you.
so am I.
She immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Hey, I have to say this, but Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Okay, and what happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby, you know, the leader.
Oh.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Oh.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Which is kind of interesting enough because she had all the maps in her lorry car hidden under the seat, if I recall, like routes and stuff like that.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
Okay. Kim caught on.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
Right, I knew it. The coloring of his lower limbs looked faint.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
He makes a small pointing motion with his pen. It's meant for you. Then, what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. his armor too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
Right, and what did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did.
Okay, this Ruby, where is Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
Okay, we're gonna have to ask Titus about that.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
Right, there has to be something more to that.
What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot.
It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Klaasje.
Okay, when it happened, did you hear the gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Okay, it wasn't that loud, which means it was maybe further away. Were you the one that wanted to have Lily killed?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence as she gathers the last vestige of her strength.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
So she's still kind of in the thought that the bullet was really meant for her, but the Hardy Boys probably know it was really meant for him. So maybe she's not fully aware of his mercenariness being with the picketers and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun. Somewhere, lying around, close to her hand. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs, people have this crazy idea that you killed him. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. He must have had a weapon nearby. Did you use that? Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions. I mean, do we really want to say it's her? I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. I'm going to assume it'll let us still continue this. I could be very wrong, though. Let's see if it lets us go back to this.
Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did. Probably didn't. Either way, it's something to consider. Yeah, either way, it's something to consider.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there.
Okay, why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth.
Right.
Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
Okay, so would you have us believe? Would you have us believe, but you're not? I don't think so. Why did you do it? I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Oh, so you would have us believe, but you're not? I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I don't think so, so why did you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud, So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then?
Okay, so we're kind of conflicted here ourselves, it looks like.
She did, of course.
Right, I think she's telling the truth about making the phone call. I don't disbelieve that. When was that window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a drag.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
See, okay, good. All right, well, I'm hoping we can come back to her and maybe ask more about her killing Laylee if we think that's the case, but let's investigate the scene. Okay, I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you and then the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Multi-face forcefully if you wish to continue pushing her. Okay. We'll do this check along with the Laylee question. Let's okay, so we would go back in her room to solve that. Let's see, does it give us it as an optional thing? Okay, Ruby was the organizer of the hanging. She's also missing, but the Hardy Boys will be tight-lipped about her location. You need to get them to open up. Have you fully explored the whirling, analyzed the site of the murder, truly and thoroughly interrogated Klaasje? All this might be more convincing to them. Okay, so I think we'll save that for next episode. We will look at the crime scene, aka her bedroom. It's asking if we fully explored the whirling, so that tells me we should probably look in that back room again. And then talk to her again. I wanted to ask her about the actually killing him thing. I wasn't sure if that would affect us asking her the rest of the stuff we wanted to ask her. And then I'm hoping as we kind of do those checkpoints that it'll kind of maybe make checks here that we want to cross off the list. Additionally, the drama, because if we get through our drama check, which was a high percentage chance, there might be some other good questions we could ask her to kind of solve everything. We have like 2 minutes. I'm gonna check the back room real quick. Alright, the footprints. Was there anything else in this particular section that was... I imagine that this would probably just be this again.
You clearly see foot...
Jackpot. These and
Okay, it's the same. Alright, I'm gonna go back over here. We'll go into her room, and then we'll call that the episode. So that we can... Yeah, I think that's good. So, yeah, we'll just stay right here. We'll save. We did pretty good with talking to her, I think. Fairly sentimental. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily on arresting her. I have a feeling that if we want to find Ruby, it'd be easier to keep her here. I'm not sure if that means she'll be added with me and Kim here, like as a third person, but maybe. Or she would be a good bait, maybe, to lure Ruby back over here. It's obvious that Ruby cares about her, but it also maybe isn't the case. Ruby might just be using her as like a shield to protect the Hardys and the strike going on in Everard Clare. Like I said, Everard Clare is kind of a problem. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.